A production of King Crow Home Video.
What's in your food? Our daily choices shape our health, from fresh vegetables to packaged snacks. Food can nourish or harm depending on what we choose. In this documentary, we'll explore processed foods, clarify organic, non-organic, and GMO options, and share practical tips for eating healthier. Let's uncover how to make informed choices that support both body and mind for a balanced, healthier you.
Hi, my name's Amanda Ruskowski. I'm a naturopathic physician here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm also doing my master's in public health at Johns Hopkins University with a concentration in environmental medicine.
Processed foods like chips, sodas, or frozen dinners are often altered from their natural state, often loaded with sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives. These can disrupt the body's balance, causing inflammation or fatigue. Studies have linked them to obesity, heart disease, and even cancer. Shockingly, some ingredients like Red 40, BHT, and potassium bromate are banned in some countries like the EU and Canada for health concerns, but are still allowed in the USA.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot more research on some of these artificial food colorings in recent years. Personally, I don't trust any of them because we know some things like Red 40 have demonstrated health impacts, but some of the other ones, it might just take a few more years before we have the research to understand that they're problematic. And so, I really just recommend for my patients and family members that they avoid any artificial food colorings entirely. And so, especially for like kids with ADHD, it can make a huge impact in their health. Anytime you see artificial flavors on a label, that could be just about anything. So I always try to avoid buying foods that has that listed because we have absolutely no idea what it is, and there's a lot of problematic chemicals that could creep into our foods.
These additives can affect behavior and increase cancer risks over time. Some processed foods are much worse than others. Minimally processed foods like canned vegetables or frozen fruit can still retain some nutritional value, though highly processed ones seriously lack nutrients and contain harmful additives. Choosing whole foods, which are foods closest to their natural state, supports both science-backed health and holistic wellness. Starting to make informed food choices is a big step to a healthy you. Organic foods are foods grown or raised without synthetic pesticides, fertilizers, and genetically modified organisms, or GMOs for short. This includes plants and animals. The animals on an organic farm are raised free of antibiotics and growth hormones. Many people choose to eat organic to avoid ingesting these harmful chemicals, which build up in the body over time. Though all non-organic foods have some chemical residue, some foods are affected more than others.
Eating organic is definitely a good way to reduce your risk. Unfortunately, there's no way to completely avoid these things, but the less the better. I like to tell my patients about the Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen because that's a really cost-effective way to help reduce your pesticide exposure. So things like strawberries are almost always the top of the Dirty Dozen list, which just means that they accumulate pesticides more than other foods do. Whereas some things like avocados usually are on the Clean 15 list, and that means that it doesn't make a huge difference whether it's organic or not. So if you have to be picky, just because organic produce is a lot more expensive typically, so if you have to be selective, definitely prioritize the Dirty Dozen as ones that you only should eat organic.
GMOs like corn and soybean are genetically modified for traits like pest resistance and passed off as safe by regulators, though holistic circles question their long-term impact.
Trying to get more nutrient-dense food, essentially, is the priority. So with processed foods, we have a high caloric value, but not as many vitamins and minerals. not as much fiber, other nutrients. It's really important when you're shopping for groceries to learn to look at the labels and check for all the ingredients. Looking for things like added sugar, artificial flavors, trying to minimize those as much as possible, as well as some of the more inflammatory oils like soy oil, corn oil, high fructose corn syrup. These are things that we want to try to avoid as much as possible.
Healthy eating can take a little work, but is fully worth the reward. Next time you're thirsty, swap sugary drinks for water, tea, or 100% juice to hydrate and energize. Try adding one new whole food weekly. Start shopping with a list, prioritizing fresh produce, lean proteins, and whole grains. And always read the labels so you know what is going into your body. Balance is key. Enjoy treats occasionally, but look for healthier versions of favorite vices. Also, cook at home as much as possible. Small steps and consistency is key to a healthier you. When you invest in your health, you invest in your future. Not just a longer life, but a more enjoyable one too. A good feeling body and a sharp mind for whatever lies ahead. Being healthy means you can be at your best. Whatever steps you take, no matter how big or small, you will be happy you did.